Hello, friends. Hello, hello. There's always this odd delay, this like 30-second, we're getting everything set up, but I'm not sure if you're really live or not situation. And I used to wait for it, and now I'm not. I'm here, I'm live. I'm so excited to be able to be here because, of course, it's Thursday, even though this week has confused me, being a short week with the holiday in the US. Anyway, I'm here and I'm excited to be able to chat with you. And this is one of those topics that immediately like popped up in my brain the moment that I woke up this morning, and I've been so excited to be able to be here live to share it with you. So, one of the things that has come up is we get a lot of requests to build your own to dos and use different message templates for different situations. And I hear this through our support team. I'm sorry, our support team is incredible, by the way. If you've not yet connected with them, they are real people and they love to help. Hi, Sherry from Arizona. Yes, it's got to be hot there, I'm sure. Because she had a little fire situation going on. Anyway, my point is, we get a lot of requests to build custom to-dos. And so one of the things I was thinking about is algorithms rule all, meaning computers go and software programs in particular are fueled by algorithms. And so an example is you're currently watching this on Facebook, and whether or not people watch this or actually see it within their feed is based on a number of factors, which are the algorithm, of course. So the more people that watch, the more people that like, the more people that like the page, or if we were on YouTube, subscribe, or if we were on Instagram, it's follow, right? Yep. There's a variety of factors that make this video in particular, and anything that gets put on, we'll say Facebook in this example, favorable or not to be included in other people's news feeds. Long gone are the days of when someone posts something, it goes out to all their friends because they recognized the ability to manipulate the algorithm changes their ability to make money, right? Through showing you ads, so forth and so on. We all know this, right? But what I want to share is computers don't really have feelings. So, for example, if something very exciting gets shared on Facebook, they see the engagement, the views, the hearts, the likes, the thumbs ups, they're seeing the engagement on it, whether it's very exciting or whether it's very sad, right? Those are the things that tend to end up in your newsfeed first. Have you ever popped onto Facebook and seen like a slew of engagements or a slew of for some reason, unfortunately, recently I've seen a number of friends have lost their pups recently, and like that pops up immediately because those are the ones that the algorithm is favoring. All right, I promise this relates to Amy. I promise. And so another example is Instagram is currently favoring people saving posts. It's almost like they're wanting to be a little bit more like Pinterest, right? If you save this post, and if you see influencers, they'll say, save this. Like they're creating content to be saved because that is how the algorithm will share their content to others. Okay. I have a story from about 5 years ago, maybe longer. Remember when people used to listen to Pandora more so than Spotify? That time ago. I went into a bar and I complimented the bartender on the music selection. And I was like, this is an incredible playlist. Did you create it? And he said, no, it's Pandora. I have a firm no touch policy um, on Pandora. And I was like, that's interesting. Can you tell me about that? And he was saying that the reason for that is because when you initially select, maybe you select a band and you enter it in there, it'll give you sounds that are similar, but not necessarily all from that band, right? Obviously, Spotify works the same way. I presume Apple Music works the same way. But the interesting thing about that was at that time, I had like 10 stations in my Pandora that I would listen to at work, and I would give the thumbs up to the ones that I liked, and I'd thumbs down the ones that I was like, not really feeling this. And my 10 stations had managed to merge into essentially 10 different versions of the same channel. Okay. The challenge with that, of course, is I had 10 different channels on purpose, and I wanted to keep them separate for different moods. An example, it's a little weird. I like listening to piano music when I'm focused and working because it's not necessarily something that I can sing to, right? But my piano music channel was turning into my like jam band music channel, right? And so because they were sort of merging because of I did not have a firm no touch policy on Pandora at the time. And that is what algorithms will do. Again, they don't have feel like you may have feelings associated with different songs, but by hitting the thumbs up and thumbs down, you're literally tailoring it exactly to your needs. But the problem with that is that everything ends up being the same. Um, Quick hello to my friends who are joining me. I see Carol, Ida, and Aline. I'm so happy to see you guys here. Thank you for coming to my story time this week. But what I wanted to share with you and how this relates to Amy is Amy as an app doesn't necessarily know or care if someone's never responded to your last reach out. Because we hear that often. You're like, I see this person. Amy told me to reach out to this person, and I was like scared to touch it. Okay. I'm moving my windows around so I can see my screen. It's not working. All right. So we're just going to do something else. Amy doesn't know or care if you have not necessarily connected with. Let's go ahead and click on an example being re-engage with past customers. They see all of these contacts as prospective orders. Okay, so maybe you see this and you go, I'm going to use a specific example. Maybe Maddie, we haven't seen Maddie in a long time. And maybe the last interaction was just a little awkward. Okay, so Amy doesn't know that, but she's going to encourage you. I just gave her a she pronoun. Anyway, Amy's going to encourage you to reach out to Maddie because it doesn't have the feelings associated with this contact. It just knows at one point, let's go ahead and click on it. At one point, Maddie ordered from you. It's been a long time. Go ahead and reach out and say hello. Now, we're going to encourage you to do that. And I know that that can be scary. And I know sometimes people are like, but I know my business better than Amy does. I'm not going to reach out to Maddie because I would much prefer, for example, to reach out to, and I'm going to sort here. You can sort most lifetime order value. We'll sort by most lifetime order value. I'm going to reach out to Billy because I feel comfortable reaching out to Billy. Because of course you do, because Billy is one of your top customers. But Amy recognizes that Maddie has the potential to be one of your top customers. And we want to encourage you to reach out from your comfort level to help grow your business. Okay? Is this making sense? So when we get people requesting, I want to make my own to-dos, I want to be able to do that. Well, you have the ability to do that within the contact. You can actually go ahead and hit plus here and you can record a note. And from that note, okay, you can create a note and then you can save with a follow-up. You can create your own custom follow-up based on that particular contact. We don't have the ability to create a new to-do with its own message template and everything at this point in time, partly because we suspect, it's not we, it's me. I suspect that likely what's happening is when you want to create that new to-do, you may not necessarily, and if it's true, you can tell me. And if it's not true, you can tell me too, right? But we suspect that you likely haven't done your dishes. Okay. I've alluded to the to-dos as being like dishes. They never really go away, especially if you have a really business, if you have a really profitable business or a really successful business. These to-dos will never go away, especially if you have a team. If you have a team and your team is in Sell with Amy and you're connecting with each of your team members and your team is anywhere from, let's say, 15 to 100 people, you're looking at 45 to 300 to-dos a month just in terms of team volume. Okay, like you're connecting with your frontline. So that's a lot of to-dos, right? Those are never going to go away. I mean, they will, they'll just expire and you won't make any progress. But I want you to trust the Amy algorithm. I want you to make sure that you tackle these to-dos before you go looking for additional ways to connect with your customers. Because if you've ignored, again, the re-engage with past customers one, which we hear a lot about, right? If you ignore these, you're missing out an opportunity to connect with these individuals, and specifically not to say, hey, do you want to buy something? Because again, at Amy, we're not here to just spam. But we want to reach out and see how these individuals are genuinely doing in life, right? You want to see how they're doing, and immediately they're going to associate you with the company that you're currently with, or the party they attended, or the hostess that they attended with a party if you're part of a party plan situation. But I really want to encourage you to make sure to do the dishes of all the to-dos before you dive in and create additional things to do with Amy. And I say that because we've chatted a lot about Make sure you're consistent in opening your app each day. Make sure you're consistent about tackling your to-dos. For our friends that don't have company partnerships and don't magically have orders and parties dropping into their dashboard, their personal dashboard, one, I'm sorry, okay. And two, I want you to know that logging your orders ideally comes before tackling your to-dos. Why? Because you can get those to-dos done and then you sort of like walk away, but you haven't logged orders for the month because it's not towards the end of the month yet, right? We want to keep you consistently working your business in smaller chunks as opposed to having that late month freak out of I haven't hit my goals or my team hasn't hit my goals. If you are a leader and you hit your goals early in the month, it means that you can spend the rest of the month focusing on connecting with your team and making sure they have all the support that they need, ideally through using Amy to be able to hit their goals as well. All right, I'm going to go ahead and peek at my comments here. Hi, Carlin. The seg. Oh, I need to know what that is because I'm gonna have to Google it. Love that explanation. I definitely avoid some choices. And I think that's the hard part, right? We want to be in control, but maybe we need to recognize that Amy knows what's happening, right? Amy can recognize patterns that we can't as humans because we have feelings. So we have feelings, especially towards people, maybe, and let me go back to that. We were talking about the last interaction with Maddie here. So maybe the last interaction might have been weird, but maybe what I didn't know is Maddie had some personal thing going on. Maybe Maddie's daughter had some sort of fell off the monkey bars or something, right? And was injured, or they'd just gone back from the ER because of the monkey bar incident. The point is, you don't necessarily know why that didn't go well the last interaction, or maybe Maddie didn't respond because she saw that you were doing customer service and following up on orders, but didn't necessarily have anything to add to it. Ways to ensure that people respond to you is to make sure that you're asking them a question about their experience. That's the best way because people like to talk about themselves. They like to talk about the things that they buy, right? So in making sure that your message templates ask questions to garnish a response, and even if they don't, if they didn't respond to you, it's likely because maybe their child just fell off the monkey bars, right? As an example, we're not sure what's going on with their life, but we want to make sure that we're trusting the process and just go ahead and connect with each of your contacts. Also, as you're going through here, look, green's your favorite color. Maybe something green is on sale, or maybe something green just came out or is going to come out, but you're not going to say that yet. Because again, like we talked about last week, you're not going to talk about what's coming out until it actually comes out. You instead want to continue to work the rest of the catalog season if you've got a new catalog coming up. So, hope this was helpful. Thank you so much for joining in today. It was a big one today, right? We're going to trust the Amy algorithm, and I want to make sure that you're doing the dishes. And when I say dishes, I really mean to-dos, because to-dos will never go away, again, if you have a very successful business. Pop Amy open every day, 5 minutes at a time, and then literally quit. Wait till tomorrow, okay? I'd love to hear from my friends who have been doing this. Let me know how it's going. We've had I've heard some really good stories about June. Those that were committed to using Amy every day for the month of June had really incredible results based on that. And so if you have a story like that, I would love to hear it. Please drop it in the comments. It's my favorite thing about this job. I love hearing about your success, genuinely. So thanks again. I look forward to seeing you next Thursday. Well, see you then. But also I want to hear how that goes. So let us know. Let us know if you tackle one of those to-dos that might scare you a little bit and what the results are, right? Even if it means that they don't respond to you, doesn't mean they didn't see it. Thanks, friends. We'll see you later.